And we are back with another Savage stream. Thanks everybody for tuning in. You guys are awesome for hanging out. I'm going to try to be a lot more consistent with the streams and the videos. Now is like that perfect time, right, to do something like that. So I'm going to try. We'll see how this works out. But thanks everybody for sharing and liking and commenting and subscribing. I've been answering a lot of comments lately, more than usual. I've also been getting hit up in all the different social medias more than usual. So that's that's a positive for the market, right? For our little sphere, the crypto sphere. So it's good to see. Tonight I'm going to talk about the CN GPU algorithm. It seems like this algorithm is gaining some popularity recently. Even one of my favorite projects, Conceal CCX, switched to it on December 18th. So I kind of wanted to cover like what's the deal with this algo. There's a few projects that use it, so I kind of wanted to give you guys the lowdown on what's going on with it. The projects that are currently using CN GPU are Rio. Now I say Rio, some people say Rio. I think the actual correct pronunciation has a rolling R, which I can't do. If you go to Google and say pronunciation of Rio, you'll hear it, but it's basically a Japanese word, so it's really hard for me to say it because I cannot roll my tongue. So yeah, Rio. So Rio is one of them that actually uses the CN GPU. They actually are the creators of it. And then you also have Equilibria. Probably saying that wrong as well, Equilibria. This is a super small project that has just a couple of developers. They use CN GPU as well. And then, like I stated earlier, CCX Conceal also uses it. And CCX is actually the latest one to use it. They just forked on December 18th, 2020 to this algorithm, along with some mining reward reduction halving and all that stuff. So we'll probably cover some more about CCX later. You guys know I'm a big fan, so you'll see some content about them later on. So the Cryptonight GPU algorithm itself was created by the Rio team. Specifically, you got PsychoCrypt and FireIce UK, and they both kind of have this goal of fair GPU mining for different kinds of commodity hardware. So it offers, similar mining efficiency across AMD and NVIDIA GPUs, unlike what a lot of other Cryptonite variants do. So I like that goal of having, basically fair GPU mining across the different types of hardware, whether it be AMD or NVIDIA. I like that. That's a solid point for me. So this algorithm was an industry first to use the 32-bit floating point, or FP32 math, which is why the GPU brand doesn't really matter that much, since they are all designed to do FP32 math. As far as the hash watt values go, it's fair across AMD and NVIDIA GPUs of similar generations. You would have to compare the year the GPU was released and how it compares to others, but basically the same generations are going to perform similar, not exact, but similar. So as a miner, you might be asking, okay, so how are other types of hardware such as FPGAs and ASICs affected by the CN GPU algorithm? In other words, could they actually mine it, or could they benefit by performing CN GPU hashes? FPGAs are field programmable gate arrays. They are just that. They're a bunch of logic circuits, gates that can be programmed in many different ways to replicate the desired circuits and functions of the creator. Since essentially all the programmable circuits are on the same chip, FPGAs can actually be programmed to access the memory circuits 100 times faster than a CPU, which is why some of the memory hard algorithms perform really well on FPGAs. So, that's just one of the hardware specific things about an FPGA. And FP32, floating point 32 math, is too slow on CPUs, even like really high-end CPUs. So the botnets and things like that cannot actually benefit from trying to mine a CNGPU algo. So these are all positives in my book. And ASICs, mentioned earlier, application-specific integrated circuits. These are single-purpose specialized devices. GPUs, and this is something that people kind of sometimes overlook, but GPUs are ASICs as well. GPUs are designed specifically for FP32, so they are essentially ASICs for the CNGPU algorithm already, right? If you've taken a GPU apart, you might have actually seen some of the model numbers. We'll actually include the word ASIC, like it depends on the brand, but you'll see it on there. So you know, a GPU is an ASIC, but it has other things. It's got the memory, it's got all the other components in there. So that's why it's not called an ASIC like what we think of as miners. I talked about ASICs a little bit more in this video here that I've got on the screen. This was the Lindsay Phoenix Ethereum ASIC, which is pretty cool. Check that video out if you like that kind of stuff. So since this algorithm uses floating point math, when you're looking at a spec sheet for a GPU, you're going to want to, the important item is the GPU's flops, or the floating point operations per second. I think on this one it's actually over here. Yeah, there it is down there at the bottom. So that's what you're actually looking for to kind of gauge how it will perform. Or let's say you've got like a tech spec leak, you know, from a new GPU or something. You can kind of look at the FP32 performance and kind of figure out about what it's going to perform on CNGPU. Similar to what we do with whenever we see the memory bandwidth and the memory bus width and all that stuff, we can kind of figure out about what it's going to do on Ethereum or Ethash algorithms, right? So it's kind of the same thing, except for in this case, you're just talking about the FP32 performance. And yeah, there's a little calculation you can do to kind of figure it out. Some examples would be like an RX 580. They do about 6 teraflops. So you can multiply, basically you multiply the teraflops by 125, and that number varies based on actual hardware, the actual manufacturer and all that, but just a roundabout number is about 125. So you multiply the teraflops by 125, and for the RX 580, you get about 750 hashes per second. You can kind of see this if you go to what to mine. You can kind of see what is going on here. Let's go to this random one over here. We'll throw one in there for our 580. And we got CNGPU selected here. And you can see that it's like 760, right? So it's pretty close. You know, if you multiply that out by 125, then if you multiply 6 teraflops by 125. The Radeon 7, another good example, it gets about 13.4 teraflops per second. So if you have one Radeon 7, you multiply that by 125 and you get about 1675. But you're seeing here that it's a little bit more than that. So again, it depends on the specific GPU as to what number. I'm sure that you could probably figure out like the exact number to multiply it by based on the GPU that you have. Just by doing some pretty simple math. I'm not going to try to do that live because that sucks. Doing math live is horrible. But yeah, so the Radeon 7 gets about 1675, but it'll get about 2100 hashes per second with proper overclocking, and I think that is over here. Actually, no, I don't have that pulled up. So you can get about 2100 hashes per second with a Radeon 7. The NVIDIA P106, another example here, just to go in a different direction with NVIDIA. P106 gets about 300 hashes per second because they only get 2.4 teraflops. So you multiply that by 125, you get about 300. Technically, it does about 418 with proper OC and power applications. So this is just an example here. Now your mileage is going to vary, obviously, based on different hardware, overclock settings. These are just seriously just roundabout ballpark figures here. This is not anything perfect. By no means. Every hardware is going to be different. Every GPU, you could buy 2 GPUs the same day from the same place, and you might get 2 different hash rates on them. Silicon lottery kind of thing. So you also have, let's see, as far as, let me go back. The NVIDIA 3080, this is something that Rio Ru, I can never get his name right. I don't know if he's in the chat over here or not. What's going on, guys? Just check the chat just now. Yeah, Chancoin, we're going to go live with DCA Adventure tonight at 10 to talk about that. That's why I chose like a different topic, because I didn't want to do it twice, I guess. Jay Bohannon, what's going on? There's not a lot. There's not a lot of support, wallet support for Rio. You probably would be better off just using their desktop wallet. They do have a mobile wallet as well, I believe. So those native wallets are probably your best choice there. I don't know of any, honestly, I don't know of any wallet that supports them. I would love for like Zelcore, and I would love for Zelcore to start supporting like CCX and Rio. That would be freaking awesome. But that's just a personal preference, right? So it's not necessarily, you know, they got to base it on popularity and all that stuff. I get it. So anyway, Rio Ru, Russia is what that stands for. He tweeted this out about the 3080. It gets it's 29.8 teraflops. So if you're remembering the numbers that I just talked about, like the P10690, you know, down at what 2 point something. So this is 29.8 teraflops, and the calculation, multiply it by 125, it gets you to about 3725 hashes per second. But Rio Ru posted this screenshot here showing 5150 hashes per second. Now that's at full power. Actually, he's got it set a little bit higher than full power in Windows here, but yeah, 5150. That's pretty solid. And it's definitely, that's way up there. I don't know if he's tested it on a 3090 or not, though. I don't know, because he's saying that this is the champion. Maybe efficiency wise, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, 3080, pretty smoking on the CN GPU algorithm there. And our buddy over here at Serpent X Special Forces, also on his Reddit page here, also posted. Yeah, actually, this is in GPU Mining Reddit. He did a lot of testing with the 3080, and he came up with 4626 hashes per second at full power. And you can actually see down here, if you scroll down to CN GPU, right here, you can see, remember we talked about how this is a core dependent, right? It's core hard, not memory hard. It really doesn't use a lot of memory at all. So you can see down here that in Serpent's chart here, that adding more memory overclocks on the CN GPU algorithm actually has a negative effect, right? So you can see right here where with 100 core, this is on a 3080, I believe, with 100 core and 0 mem, and the power set to 80%, it's 255 watts at 4385 hash, right? But then he added 200 mem, you know, 200 plus 200 on the memory, and it actually dropped a little bit of hash rate. So you can tell that, I mean, that's kind of highlights that it's not really worried about the memory at all, you know, and it actually consumed a little bit more, probably it consumed a little bit more of the processing power because of the added memory clock, right? So at least that's what I see whenever I look at this chart. I don't know, maybe you guys can see something different. But if you're interested in content like that, be sure to check out Serpent X Special Forces. This is his YouTube here. I'll copy that and throw it into the chat. What's up, Serpent X? So be sure to check him out after this video, not right now. Yeah, if you want some great crypto mining content, be sure to check out his channel as well. He did a really good video today on NiceHash, good beginners video, which I think probably all of the YouTube channels are probably going to be doing those right about now, because mining profitability is absolutely insane right now. So we're going to be seeing an influx of people. With you're going to get the hey, can you help me set up my first mining rig? That kind of thing. So we're all probably, anybody who's been around a little bit, we're all going to get that, because this number right here draws a lot of people. This is from just a regular old RX 580 rig, eight GPUs. That's just sick. That is a sick number right there. So glad to see it. But it's going to bring a lot of new people, a lot of noobs. Going to be asking a lot of questions, so just be ready. It's going to happen. It's happening already. So also be sure to check out MinerStat. If you go over to MinerStat, you can get some pretty good information off of here as far as the algorithm goes. So like if we went down to, I was already in like hardware here, but if you go to, I think it was algorithms. I think that's what I want. No, that's not what I want. It was calculators. That's right. Here we go. Mining calculator. Nope, that's not what I wanted either. Hang on. I'll get there. Coins. What am I looking for? Hang on. I got a link over here. Oh, it was hardware. My bad. All right, so you can come over here and go to hardware GPUs. So I guess that's probably right here. Yeah, hardware. So you just click right there. That'll get you. No, it didn't. That's weird. I thought that was the same thing. Hardware and then GPUs. Oh, okay. So yeah, I'm missing the little button here. So if you click on GPU mining right here, it should get you to where, yeah, it'll look like this. So then you go to the algorithms here, and if you change it to CN GPU, and then calculate, I'm going to go ahead and throw my power cost in here. So you can see that CCX is up there, but you have it narrowed down to the Cryptonight GPU algorithm itself right here. So of course, take this off to the multi-algo pools. So of course CCX is going to show up if it is the most profitable at the moment. There's only 3 projects, so there's not a whole lot of competition. So like if we go over here and we go to CCX, and then you'll look over here, there's only Rio, Equilibria, and CCX that are all Cryptonite GPU. I wish there was a way to just select that one, but it won't. It doesn't have just Cryptonite GPU in here. So anyway, you kind of have to look at it like this. But yeah, so and that algorithm change actually helps CCX a lot, because they had a lot of like what do they call it, throttling, like hash rate throttling for profitability, like a big farm or someone with a lot of hash rate was cycling, pulsing the difficulty, pulsing the hash rate, and kind of cutting into profits for hobby miners, so to speak. So yeah, that helped them a lot. Anyway, all right, I'm getting off topic. So yeah, you can go to MinerStat, look at this to see what profits are going to look like with the CN GPU algorithm if you want to use that. For example, like why would you, right? Like we'll do a little summary at the end that will kind of explain that. Why would you need to know about this specific algorithm? So we'll get to that in a moment. So what miner software supports the CN GPU algorithm? There's several. I think that XMRig recently stopped supporting it, but there's definitely XMR Stack. XMR Stack is from these devs here also. So, definitely they're going to support their own project. You got SRB Miner and then Crypto Dredge. I think that's the only 3. There might be other ones, but those are the 3 most popular, I would assume. Crypto Dredge, SRB Miner, and XMR Stack. So, there you have it, everyone. CNGPU is a fair mining algorithm used across non-vendor specific commodity hardware. It's the mining, this is like a little summary here. So the mining on CNGPU on FPGAs, ASICs, and CPUs is not really financially relevant. It doesn't make a big difference. You're not going to benefit a whole lot from using those specific hardware. There's no BIOS flashing needed on the GPUs because there's no significant memory usage. So if you have GPUs that are not BIOS modded, like in the case of AMD, then yeah, you don't have to worry about BIOS mining because it's not going to help you any if you do, if you're going to be mining the CN GPU algorithm. So the hash rate is tied to the actual power of the GPU and its core frequency instead of memory, like we talked about earlier. And the cool thing is that you can use older 2 GB GPUs and higher to mine CN GPU algorithms. So if you've got a project that uses CN GPU and you've got, or that you like, that you want to mine, and you've got older GPUs that are 2 gig or higher, then you can use those GPUs to actually mine that project. So if you want to keep up to date on crypto mining topics, please be sure to subscribe, click the notification bell so you don't miss anything. And let's keep the conversation going in the comments. What do you think about the CN GPU algo? Do you like it like me? Do you like that it's core dependent instead of memory dependent? Do you think that this is a good privacy algo that can complement proof of work privacy projects like CallPow, and I'm saying like CallPow and ProgPow complement non-privacy proof of work projects? So do you think that this is a good go-to for a privacy proof of work privacy coin? Let me know in the comments below, in the chat, all that stuff. Let me check the chat, see what you guys are doing over here. We are going to go to DCA Adventure. We are going to be talking, I don't know how this is going to work. Maybe they sent a link. I don't know if it's a Zoom meeting or what. I don't know. Don't know what it is, but we are going to talk about the breaking news about the tariffs and all that stuff. Yeah, this is pretty huge because what we're going to end up seeing is not good for us if you don't already have a ton of GPUs. So it's not going to be great. Anyway, so we're going to go over there. We'll do the Savage Raid thing, and I will see you guys over there. Yep. Stay savage, everybody. Get over there to DCA Adventure.